the intriguing and often lesser-known aspects of Native American sexual practices and beliefs, unveiling traditions, rituals, and practices that spanned thousands of years. Number 1. Sacred sexual symbols in rituals and artifacts. Native American cultures are rich tapestries interwoven with symbols, rituals, and artifacts that offer glimpses into the spiritual and daily lives of the people. Among these myriad expressions, sexual symbols have held a unique and potent place, not merely representing the act itself, but encapsulating broader themes of creation, fertility, power, and the sacred interplay between masculine and feminine forces. Pottery is one of the most tangible mediums where these sexual symbols are prevalent. Traditional designs, often etched or painted onto pottery surfaces, frequently used abstract shapes that, upon closer examination, represent genitalia or the act of copulation. These designs were not meant to be explicit or taboo, rather they were emblematic of the life-giving forces and the cyclical nature of existence. A vessel, for instance, with its hollowed core, could be interpreted as a womb, an encapsulation of potential life. In many Native American cultures, the sexual act was not simply a physical engagement, it was deeply spiritual, a dance of energies, where two became one, and in that union, the universe itself was mirrored. This profound sentiment is captured in some artifacts, like ceremonial masks or garments. These items would occasionally incorporate symbols like the union of the sun and the moon, or the intertwining of snakes, which are universal symbols for male and female energies. However, it's essential to approach these interpretations with caution. What may seem like a sexual symbol to modern or outside eyes might have a completely different or more nuanced meaning within the culture itself. Also, generalizing about Native Americans can be misleading, as there were hundreds of tribes, each with its distinct traditions, beliefs, and artistic expressions. The sexual symbols in Native American rituals and artifacts provide a profound and beautiful testament to the way these cultures viewed sexuality, not as something to be hidden or shamed, but celebrated as an intrinsic and sacred facet of the human experience. In their art and rituals, they embedded the reverence for the act of creation, a dance of energies that's as old as time itself. Number 2. Roles of two-spirit people. Diversity in gender identity and expression is not a novel concept. Long before European contact, many Native American tribes held a multifaceted understanding of gender, recognizing it as a spectrum rather than a binary system. Central to this understanding was the concept of two-spirit people. The term two-spirit is a modern pan-tribal term adopted in the 1990s to replace the previously used and now considered derogatory term berdache. It encapsulates a variety of gender roles and identities unique to each tribe. Two-spirit is an umbrella term. While it may generally denote someone who embodies both male and female spirits, its specific roles, attributes, and definitions varied considerably across tribes. In many tribes, two-spirit individuals were seen as gifted, occupying a special, revered status. They were believed to be especially connected to the spiritual realm, given their ability to encompass dual-gender spirits. As a result, many of them held positions as shamans, medicine people, or spiritual leaders. Culturally, their roles were diverse. In some tribes, two-spirit individuals undertook tasks or roles typically assigned to both men and women. For instance, a two-spirit person might both hunt and weave. Their unique position enabled them to fluidly move between these roles, providing a valuable flexibility to the community. Beyond their practical contributions, two-spirit people were also vital in ceremonial contexts. Their perceived spiritual potency meant that they often played central roles in rituals, dances, and other sacred ceremonies. Their participation was sometimes believed to bring added blessings or potency to the rites. However, it wasn't solely a spiritual or ceremonial role. Two-spirit individuals also had social and relational roles within tribes. They often became matchmakers or were consulted on matters of love and relationships. In some tribes, they also adopted nurturing roles, taking care of orphaned children or others in need. Yet, With European colonization came a disruption of these traditional understandings. European settlers, with their rigid binary gender concepts and religious convictions, often viewed two-spirit people with disdain or confusion. Missionaries and colonizers sought to suppress or correct two-spirit traditions, leading to a decline in their status and acceptance. However, in recent years, there has been a resurgence and reclamation of the two-spirit identity. Modern Native American and indigenous communities are actively working to re-educate and reintegrate the knowledge and reverence for two-spirit roles. This revival signifies a powerful return to pre-colonial understandings of gender and sexuality. In the grand tapestry of Native American cultures, the presence and acceptance of two-spirit individuals stand as a testament to a holistic and encompassing view of human identity. They were, and remain, a vibrant and integral part of the community, weaving together the spiritual and the earthly, the masculine and the feminine, into a harmonious whole. Number 3. Fertility rites and dances. In the rhythmic heartbeat of Native American life, where nature's cycles were deeply revered and mirrored in human existence, fertility held paramount importance. The bounty of the land, the proliferation of the tribes, the promise of future generations, all these were intertwined with the concept of fertility. As with many other aspects of life, the indigenous people expressed their reverence, hopes, and prayers for fertility through elaborate rites and dances. The Native American fertility rites often revolved around agricultural cycles. Since many tribes were dependent on farming, ensuring a bountiful harvest was critical. Ceremonies were held at planting times, praying for the seeds to germinate and thrive. Similarly, at harvest, thanks were given for the abundance. These ceremonies often invoked the spirits or deities associated with earth, water, sun, and other elements critical to cultivation. Another significant ceremony is the Green Corn Festival, celebrated by southeastern tribes such as the Creek, Cherokee, and Seminole. It marks the first corn harvest and is a time for community rejuvenation. Dancing, feasting, and various rites cleanse past wrongs and set intentions for the upcoming cycle. Beyond agriculture, dances and rites for human fertility were also prominent. Such ceremonies would sometimes be performed for individuals, such as a woman hoping to conceive, or collectively, to ensure the tribe's overall growth and continuity. The Cherokee, for instance, had a dance specifically for women who wished to become pregnant. The dance incorporated specific movements and chants designed to invoke the spirit's blessings for conception. Participating women would dance around a fire, drawing in its warmth and energy, symbolic of the life they wished to create within. The Lakota Sioux had the buffalo dance, where dancers adorned in buffalo hides emulated the movements of the animal. Given the buffalo's central role in Lakota life and its association with abundance, this dance was not only a prayer for more buffalo, but also a larger plea for prosperity and fertility. The dances were more than mere performances. They were deep spiritual endeavors. Participants often entered trance-like states, becoming conduits for the spirits or energies they invoked. The community's combined energy, focus, and intent during these dances created a potent spiritual force. Today, as Native American communities work to reclaim and revive their rich traditions, these fertility rites and dances are being reintroduced. They serve as poignant reminders of the deep bond between the land, its people, and the rhythms of life that pulse through both. Through these rites and dances, Native American tribes not only pray for fertility and abundance, but also celebrate the intricate balance of life and their integral role within it. Number 4. Marriage and courtship traditions. Marriage, a union that melds two lives, two families, and two histories, has always held a place of prominence within Native American cultures. The practices surrounding courtship and marriage were diverse, each tribe weaving its distinct tapestry of traditions, symbols, and rituals. These customs, while varied, often emphasized respect, consent, and the spiritual dimension of this sacred union. In many Native American tribes, marriages were not merely romantic unions, but also strategic alliances. They helped in cementing ties between families or tribes, ensuring mutual support and broadening social networks. However, love and personal choice were still essential components in many courtship traditions. The Ojibwe or Chippewa people, for instance, had a delightful custom involving a suitor placing a beautifully crafted bundle outside a potential bride's dwelling. If she took the bundle inside, it signified her acceptance of the proposal. If left untouched, it was a polite decline. Among the Navajo, courtship was a subtle and respectful dance. A suitor would visit the woman's family home, often bringing gifts of food. The family would prepare a meal, and the couple's compatibility was symbolically reflected in how well their meal portions matched. If the woman agreed to the proposal, the couple would then exchange cornmeal to symbolize their unity. The Plains tribes, like the Cheyenne and Lakota Sioux, had courtship traditions that involved serenades. A suitor would play the flute outside a woman's tent. If she emerged, it indicated interest, and they would converse or spend time together. However, if she remained inside, it signified her disinterest. While these rituals of courtship were endearing and symbolic, the marriage ceremonies themselves were deeply spiritual. Most tribes believed that marriage was a union blessed by the spirits or deities, and held ceremonies that sought divine blessings and protection for the couple. For the Iroquois, the marriage ceremony was simple yet profound. The couple would share a meal, usually of venison and corn, symbolizing their future life together. They would also exchange wampum beads, which held spiritual significance. The Hopi had a more elaborate ritual. Before marriage, the bride-to-be would spend days weaving her prospective husband's wedding attire. The groom's family, in turn, would plant and nurture cotton for her wedding dress. The actual ceremony would include prayers, songs, and dances, seeking blessings from the Kachinas, spiritual beings. Yet today, as Native American communities endeavor to preserve and revive their heritage, many are returning to these traditional courtship and marriage customs. These rituals, rich in symbolism and rooted in respect and spirituality, serve as poignant reminders of the profound sanctity with which these tribes view the union of two souls. Number 5. Maidenhood and the puberty rituals. In every culture, the transition from childhood to adulthood is marked with ceremony, celebration, and often introspection. Within Native American tribes, this transformation, especially concerning a girl's entrance into womanhood, was regarded with deep spiritual and communal significance. Puberty wasn't just an anatomical shift, but a profound journey of the spirit and society's acknowledgement of potential motherhood, making it a time of reverence and ritual. In the Pacific Northwest, the COURTSHIP tribe honored maidenhood with seclusion. A girl experiencing her first menstruation would retreat, often residing in a special hut away from her community. This seclusion was dual-purpose. It offered time for spiritual purification and a symbolic gestation period. On her return, her emergence symbolized rebirth, this time as a woman. For the Navajo, the Canalda ritual marked a girl's first menstruation. This ceremony was a blend of celebration and instruction. The girl would partake in activities symbolizing her upcoming responsibilities as a woman, from grinding corn to running races that drew strength from the dawn's sun. Central to the ritual was the preparation of a large corn cake, baked deep in the earth, which she shared with her community, symbolizing both her capacity for nourishment and her interconnectedness with the tribe. The Hopi, in their Wuwachim ceremony, encapsulated not just the transition of girls, but also of boys into adulthood. Within this ritual, initiates would be imparted teachings about their impending adult roles. For girls, it meant understanding their new responsibilities as women, bearers of life, and caretakers of both family and earth. However, these ceremonies weren't merely rites. They were educative processes, combining spiritual lessons with practical knowledge. For instance, during her seclusion, a Kwakiutl girl would receive teachings from elder women, learning the lore, duties, and skills necessary for her new life phase. Similarly, during the Apache sunrise ceremony, while the spiritual connection was paramount, the girl also learned about her societal roles, her responsibilities, and the strength she would need to shoulder them. Number 6. The significance of dream revelations. Dreams have always held a place of deep significance in various cultures worldwide, bridging the realms of the conscious and the unconscious, the earthly and the ethereal. For Native American tribes, dreams were not just fleeting images of the night, but powerful messages and revelations from the spiritual world. They were seen as portals, granting unique insights, guidance, and sometimes premonitions. To begin with, dreams held an individual's personal spiritual journey. They were often seen as manifestations of one's soul communicating its desires, fears, and lessons. A vivid or particularly emotional dream was a call for introspection, urging the dreamer to decipher its meaning and apply its teachings in their waking life. Moreover, dreams were vital in the process of self-discovery. Many Native American tribes believed that during adolescence, especially during the tumultuous phase of transitioning into adulthood, dreams played a pivotal role. They could guide a young individual toward their life's purpose or their unique skill set. A recurring dream about a particular animal, element, or situation was a hint toward one's spiritual guide or totem. Dreams also had a communal aspect. Among tribes like the Iroquois, dreams weren't a personal affair alone. If an individual had a disturbing or unsettling dream, it was believed that the imbalance it represented could affect the entire community. Such dreams were shared, discussed, and ceremonies called dream-guessing rituals were performed to decipher and rectify the imbalances they pointed towards. Furthermore, dreams held prophetic powers. Leaders, shamans, and medicine people often sought guidance from dreams for the welfare of their tribe. A leader might dream of an impending drought, a bountiful hunt, or an upcoming conflict. Such dreams were considered messages from the spirits, guiding the tribe towards preparation or caution. The tools to aid dreaming were also prevalent. Dream catchers, now a popular artifact worldwide, have their roots in the Ojibwa, Chippewa tribe. Woven intricately, they were designed to filter dreams, allowing only the beneficial visions to pass through, while trapping the negative or harmful dreams in its web. Unfortunately, with the advent of colonization and the subsequent erosion of indigenous cultures, the profound significance of dream revelations in Native American culture was diluted. The traditional practices and the emphasis on dream interpretations were sidelined, often dismissed as superstition. Yet, in contemporary times, as there is a global resurgence of interest in spirituality and dream therapy, the rich tapestry of Native American dream traditions offers profound wisdom. These ancient practices underline the belief that our dreams are more than just random neural firings. They are a dialogue with the universe, a narrative of our soul, and a compass guiding us through the labyrinth of life. Number 7. Sexual taboos and restrictions. Sexuality, a fundamental aspect of human nature, is framed and understood within the cultural and spiritual contexts of societies. Native American tribes, with their diverse cultures and traditions, had a unique and intricate web of beliefs surrounding sexuality. These beliefs were manifested in the form of taboos and restrictions, not merely as stringent rules but as profound expressions of respect for both spiritual and communal harmony. Menstrual seclusion. In many tribes, menstruating women were seen to possess intense spiritual energy. This energy, although natural, was believed to interfere with certain tribal rituals, ceremonies, and even hunting expeditions. Tribes such as the Lakota and the Navajo had specific menstrual huts where women secluded themselves during their periods, not as a form of ostracization, but as a respectful acknowledgement of their powerful energy. Pre-battle abstinence. Warriors often abstained from sexual activities before heading into battle. This was not because sexuality was seen as weakening, but because the act was believed to ground a person, tying them to the earthly realm. Abstinence was a form of preparation, ensuring that warriors were spiritually agile and ready for the challenges of combat. Sexual initiation. While many tribes celebrated the natural progression of sexuality, they also believed in the sanctity of the act. Sexual relations were not just procreative, but also deeply spiritual. Many tribes had specific rituals and ceremonies marking the transition from adolescence to sexual maturity, ensuring that the act was approached with respect and understanding. Adultery. Though marital structures varied among tribes, with some practicing monogamy and others polygamy, the act of adultery was generally frowned upon. This was not just a moral stance, but also a communal one. Adultery disrupted the harmony of the tribe, leading to conflicts and tensions. Tribes such as the Cheyenne had specific punitive measures for those found guilty. Taboos surrounding childbirth. Childbirth, while celebrated, was also surrounded by various restrictions. In some tribes, men were not allowed near birthing spaces, as it was believed their presence could disrupt the spiritual energy aiding in the birthing process. Post-childbirth, both mother and child often underwent purification rituals to cleanse and protect their spirits. These taboos and restrictions were deeply intertwined with the tribe's spiritual beliefs and societal fabric. They were not mere rules, but reflections of a worldview that saw sexuality as a powerful force, one that needed to be approached with reverence, understanding, and responsibility. With the onset of European colonization, many of these taboos were either misunderstood, stigmatized, or outright dismissed. However, they serve as a testament to the rich tapestry of beliefs, customs, and values that shaped Native American perspectives on sexuality, emphasizing respect, balance, and spiritual harmony. Number 8. Use of natural aphrodisiacs and herbal medicines. The vast, diverse landscapes that Native American tribes inhabited were abundant with flora, many of which held therapeutic, spiritual, and even aphrodisiac properties. These tribes, with their profound understanding of nature's rhythms and secrets, harnessed these plants not just for sustenance, but for enhancing vitality, sexuality, and overall well-being. The use of natural aphrodisiacs and herbal medicines was an integral part of tribal life, reflecting a holistic approach to health and intimacy. Damiana, Turnera diffusa. Native to the southwestern regions of the U.S. and much of Central America, Damiana was a popular herb among tribes like the Mayans. It was believed to not just boost libido, but also enhance mood and stamina. Often consumed as a tea, it was revered for its invigorating properties. Saw palmetto, Serenoa repens. This small palm, native to the southeastern United States, bore berries that were integral to Native American herbal medicine. Apart from its uses in treating urinary disorders and reproductive issues, it was also believed to boost libido in both men and women. Yohimbe, Paucinistalia yohimbe. Although more indigenous to West Africa, yohimbe bark found its way to Native American medicinal practices, possibly through trade. Recognized for its potential to treat erectile dysfunction and boost sexual desire, it was a powerful tool in the Native American aphrodisiac arsenal. Maca root. Predominantly used by indigenous peoples in the Andes, the maca root's fame spread across tribes in North America. Celebrated for its energy-boosting properties, it was also revered as a potent aphrodisiac, believed to enhance stamina and sexual function. Wild ginseng. Native to the Appalachian and Ozark regions, wild ginseng was an esteemed herb among tribes like the Cherokee. Apart from its general health benefits, it was regarded as a sexual tonic, fortifying libido and enhancing vitality. Cacao. While now universally celebrated as the primary ingredient in chocolate, cacao held ceremonial and medicinal significance among tribes, especially the Mayans and Aztecs. Beyond its delightful taste, it was believed to be a mood enhancer and aphrodisiac, often blended with other herbs to create stimulating beverages. Evening primrose, Enothera biennis. This plant, with its delicate yellow flowers, was used by Native American tribes for various medicinal purposes. The seeds, rich in essential fatty acids, were believed to alleviate menstrual discomfort and enhance fertility. The understanding of these plants was not just empirical, but deeply spiritual. For Native Americans, the act of intimacy was a sacred communion, and the use of these natural aphrodisiacs was not just about physical arousal, but about aligning one's body and spirit, connecting deeply with one's partner, and honoring the life force that permeated everything. In contemporary times, many of these herbs have been scientifically studied, with several of their traditional uses being validated. As modern society increasingly turns to nature for healing and wellness, the wisdom of Native American herbal aphrodisiacs offers a blend of pleasure, health, and spiritual connection. They stand as a testament to these tribes' profound respect for nature's bounty and their holistic approach to life and love. Number 9. Chastity belts and protective measures. When discussing the myriad traditions and beliefs surrounding sexuality within Native American tribes, it's essential to approach the topic with nuance and sensitivity. Contrary to popular misconceptions, chastity belts, as commonly imagined in the European context, were not a widespread or standard practice among Native American tribes. However, like all diverse societies, they had their protective measures and practices surrounding sexuality, purity, and marital fidelity. These practices, rooted in spirituality, societal norms, and the overall well-being of the tribe, present a fascinating insight into their worldview. The emphasis on a woman's virginity before marriage was prevalent in some tribes. However, this wasn't necessarily tied to the concept of honor, as in many other societies. Instead, it was more about ensuring clear lineage, bloodlines, and sometimes even tribal alliances. The assurance of a woman's virginity was sometimes required before significant intertribal marriages to maintain peaceful relations and alliances. While not specifically tied to chastity, various tribes believed in the power of amulets and talismans to protect wearers from harm, ill intent, or even unwanted advances. Crafted from sacred materials and often blessed in ceremonies, these amulets were considered potent protective devices. Number 10. Teachings and tales of intimacy in Native American lore. The lore and storytelling traditions of Native American tribes are not just tales spun for entertainment, they are conduits of wisdom, societal norms, and spiritual teachings. Intimacy, an integral part of the human experience, naturally finds its place in these stories. These narratives shed light on how tribes viewed relationships, love, desire, and the intricate dance of human connections. Hailing from the Lakota Sioux, the story of the White Buffalo Woman is a spiritual narrative intertwined with elements of intimacy. While she primarily brought the sacred pipe and its teachings to the people, her brief, intimate connection with a warrior in the tribe underscores the theme of sacredness in relationships. Creation myths and twin flames. Some tribes, like the Hopi, have creation myths where beings are born as dual entities, only to be separated and spend their lives searching for their other half. These tales, mirroring the concept of twin flames in other cultures, highlight the spiritual dimension of intimate relationships. A Hawaiian legend tells of Ohia and Lehua, lovers turned by divine wrath into a tree and a flower, respectively. Their story emphasizes the unbreakable bond of love, teaching that true intimacy transcends physical forms.